Good morning, guys. Good morning to everybody. It is 8 o'clock my time. I woke up 10 minutes ago and I saw the horrific news. Ele got nerfed and Hans got nerfed. But there's a lot more buffs that don't make no sense. We're gonna go dive in and take a look. Prepare to be sad. I'm already sad. Anyway, show must go on. Let's begin. First thing first. All the changes that I'm talking about today are gonna be live on the 30th or 31st of October. So next week, whatever you hear today, they are not live yet. You have 4 days to play your LE the way it is. Blood Decay, damage buffs, Heart Strike, Blood Plague, Death Strike, and Blood Boil by 15 to 20%, even 10% on the Blood Plague. Overall, they're trying to increase the blood output so it can match with the rest of the specs. I don't think they were doing bottom DPS, but now they're gonna be, doing a lot better, especially against burst classes where sometimes they could lose aggro. Overall, good changes, likely to not be as impactful and change their placement so far. They're also buffing Sunlin, which is a talent that pretty much nobody plays. Everybody's played Netbringer, but are those buffs gonna change now and people gonna play Sunlin? I have fucking no idea. I think probably still Netbringer, but I'll leave that for the theory crafters to sim it and figure it out. Alright, Balance Druid. So, Balance Druid, if you guys haven't seen so far, have been one of the best range DPSs in Mythic Plus. Unfortunately for raiding, they weren't really as prominent, so the upcoming changes are trying to target them more towards their raid performance, but as always, it will also influence their Mythic Plus performance and likely make them better. Let's read. Starfall 6% damage, which is your AoE spender. Star Surge 8% damage, which is your single target spender. Starfire 5% damage increase. Rat 10% damage increase. Shooting Star and Crashing Star 20% damage increase. Sunseeker Mushroom now grows 12% less often. Okay. Touch of Cosmos chance to proc increase to 15% for Rat and 22% for Starfire. Power of Gold Room damage by 25%. New Moon, Half Moon damage reduced by 5%, okay. And Rattle of the Stars increases Starfall and Star Surge damage by 8%, down from 10. Alright, so there's been some nerfs, there's been some buffs as well. I think that's gonna probably net them a buff regardless of all the small nerfs that they received. Celestial's Alignment and Incarnation Chosen of Alone once again reset at the end of a raid encounters, okay. That's again quality of life changes. Let's see what the developer said. We want Power of Gold Room to be effective single target pick, and we would like talents like Touch of Cosmos and Hail Stars to be more competitive with other options. The goal is to increase single target damage and to even out the power of talents in Balance Spec 3 to provide as much flexibility. So pretty much increase the ST, as I already said at the beginning of the balance section. Likely to make them better pick for Mythic Plus. This likely to make them at the best range right now, or like the range with the most output, unless obviously things change for better or worse. But for now speaking, this looks very good, especially Marco Dual, buffer, NCR. Yeah. Restoration Druid, small buffs here. Call of the Elden Druid duration increased to 15 seconds, and also you're gonna get more health. Transferring. So Rat and Shred transfer 100% of the damage instead of 50 to healing, which is something that a lot of people complain whenever you passively, whenever you heal passively, it's not enough to keep the party alive, and you can't really DPS, right? For example, Cat Weaving or Boomie Weaving has been a complaint. So they're trying to target that. They're trying to enable that playstyle again, letting your HOTS or passive healing do the work while you did damage as well. Which is, again, I believe Restoration Druid has been buffed for the 5th or 6th time in a row. So naturally, they're climbing rankings like crazy. I mean, those changes itself are not going to be big for them, but, hey, still buff. BM Hunter, alright. So, developer note, finally. Let's see what they say. There were some nice situations where players might want to gain trick shots or Beast Cleave for more damage from Bleak Powder in single target. Black Powder is meant to complement AoE situations, not incentivize the usage of AoE in single target situations, okay? So, from my understanding, Pack Leader is still the best choice for now, but perhaps this will change now, who knows? Dark Ranger, Bleak Powder no longer damages his primary target. Pack Leader, Frenzy Tier proc chance reduced to 10% from 20, okay? Pack Leader, Vicious Hunt damage reduced, the nerfing, it seems like they're nerfing single target, okay? Barb Shot buffed by 25%. Stomp, which is the AoE coming from the pet, buffed by 50%. Explosive, multi-shot buffed by 100%, okay? Explosive Venom now procs at 3 stacks was 5 and will appropriately apply a Serpent String to enemies regardless of their distance. Okay, so multi-shot buff is a joke, okay? So they're pretty much saying that BM Hunter was really OP on single target, while it was bad on AoE, which is actually spot on. This is exactly the case. That's why I'm saying BM Hunter was really good for raiding and dog shit for M+, because again, your ST was pretty shit. Sorry, your AoE was pretty shit while playing the M+ build, especially off cooldowns. So they're trying to target this by providing more consistent damage. But again, I wouldn't really buff multi-shot personally. I mean, I'll buff either Beast Cleave, I'll buff either Kill Cleave, I don't know, something else. But anyway, buff is a buff. MM received some Dark Ranger balancing here. Perhaps that now might be the preferred choice over Sentinel, although Symphonic Arsenal also got buffed by 15%, but then again, Dark Ranger received a little bit more tuning. Unsure what's better now, Dark Ranger or Sentinel. I guess on Wednesday, we're gonna figure it out. Especially if you are Theory Crafter, you're probably gonna know before that, so I'm gonna watch out for that and seek information. Mistweaver Monk is getting rather juicy buffs. Yulong Whisper 400% buff. Jade Bond now increases mastery. Healing by 20% was 60. Oh shit, okay. But all healing are buffed by 6%. Spinning Crane Kick now is gonna transfer more healing from your damage, which is actually insane. This was a complaint that it wasn't doing enough. Jade Fire Teaching also got buffed by a little bit. Rushing Wind Kick damage increased by 150%. Okay. And they're doing Miss Healing by 100% for this duration. Wow. Wow. I believe all of these are positive changes and will make Monk better. But the Jade Bond increases mastery here has been nerfed from 60 to 20. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if those are gonna be big nerfs to compensate for the buff they got. But I believe that the Jade Fire, Awaken Jade Fire, transferring more healing from Spinning Crane Kick is insane. Also 6% aura buff. Yeah, I'll take it. Tuning for Holy Paladins or in general Paladins. Holy Shock now costs less mana. Sorry, Holy Shock costs more mana, and Beacon of Virtue now costs more mana too. So yeah. Disc Priest getting some juicy stuff. We are increasing Discipline direct healing throughput into helps in situations where no enemy target is present to trigger Atonement. We also would like to nudge Discipline performance in raid, particularly for Oracle, okay? Power of Word Radiance increase healing by 20%, Flash Heal by 15%, Premonition of Piety increases healing them by 20 from 15, okay, fair enough. Atonement duration increased by 4 instead of 3 seconds, okay. So overall, buffs for Disc Priest, which Disc Priest right now, in my opinion, ranks as either the second best healer or third best healer, depending on the situations. So I think it's still going to be around A+ or even lower S tier for M+. Disc Priest, that is. Once again, buff to Shadow Priest. Again, Shadow Priest has been buffed for, I think this is the 5th time in a row, by the way. This time around, Psychic Link got buffed by 5%. Well, it's actually more than that. It's like 20% buff to Psychic Link, because from 25 to 30, it's like, even though it looks like 5%, it's actually 20, because, you know, 10% of 25 is 2.5. So yeah, which again is going to increase your single target, is going to increase your, your ST is not going to be increased as much, if barely, if nothing, pretty much, because you transfer damage to your targets that you single target. So your ST is gonna likely remain the same. The AoE damage, the cleave damage is what's gonna get increased. Not only burst, but also sustain too, which is again Sustained damage is an area where they struggled before, so I like to see that. Assa Rogue, small nerfs, Master Assassin critical strike chance granted duration effect reduced to 20%, was 25. Small nerf to Assa Rogues. And now for the main topic. Shaman. A moment of silence. Shaman, keep in mind, has received a rework 4 days ago. Ever since then, it got nerfed already once. Today is the second nerf. With all the changes to Ele and Enhanced in 11.05, some changes were performing beyond our tuning goals. Wow, they didn't allow us to have PTR, so adjusting several talents and abilities to reduce their overall power. So they're buffing Farseer. Farseer getting buffed. Farseer likely to still be dog shit. But yeah. Good stuff with that. Stormbringer is now gonna get you 1 charge of chain lighting or lighting, both of us 2. Okay, so Stormbringer originally started as 3 charges of active charge. From 3 charges to 2, now to 1. Alright. Voltage surge now increases earthquake and chain lighting damage by 5%. It was 15. So that's a 10% nerf to chain lighting and earthquake already. On top of the active charge nerf. Echo chamber now increases the damage of element overloads by 20%. It was 40 before. That's not only going to be nerfed to overall damage, but also nerfed to mastery as well. Because now the question is, because they're nerfing our mastery value, because they're nerfing the overloads, question is now mastery going to be the best stat? We're going to find out. Likely still to be very good though. Ascendance also got nerfed, so during cooldowns you are going to be bursting less. Now it's going to be 100% effective instead of 150. Permanence now increases haste by 20 instead of 25. That's also a direct hit, by the way. So all those changes here are also nerfing deity procs. As soon as you get deity proc, you're not gonna be as strong. Ice Field is getting buffed, it seems like. Or like, I guess, sorry, the Frost Shock getting buffed. But that is something that nobody's even pressing. Nobody's pressing that Frost Shock ever, unless you're moving left and right. So this is irrelevant change. Overall, I expect this to be rather large nerfs to Ele chat. I don't know. I just woke up. I haven't seen anything. I haven't looked at anything. But I think you're looking at least minimum 10%. Even more in AoE. Maybe even more. Likely to be more. I don't know. Maybe 15. I don't know. I gotta sim stuff. I don't want to talk out of my ass. Let's go down to enhance. Lightning Bolt nerf by 10%. Chain lighting nerf by 10%. Stormbringer Tempest damage reduced by 15%. Alright, so nerf to enhance was definitely warranted as well. I think enhance was overperforming in Mythic Plus. I believe enhance was already better than Ele in Mythic Plus, especially if you play with a Prot Warrior. They don't burst as Ele, but their consistent damage is insane. Also, I'm pretty sure that they did more single target. Resto Shaman. They're buffing Farseer on Resto Shaman. They don't nerf anything else. They just buff Farseer. So is now Farseer gonna be the preferred choice instead of Totemic? I have no idea. We're gonna find out. Warlock. Let's see what they say about Warlocks. We are increasing the throughput of all Warlock specializations to make each more competitive with other classes in both single target and multi-target situations. In particular for Demo, this means reverting the reduction of demonic cores generation to help with the overall mobility. Okay. Affliction Hail Color, damage increase of Wither by 25%. So this is actually a funny thing. They nerf Hail Color, they buff Hail Color, they nerf Hail Color, and now they buff it again. I don't think they can make their minds. Agony damage increased by 15%. Corruption damage increased by 25%. Unstable Affliction by 20% buff. Aff Lock making a comeback, boys. Very good changes here for Aff Lock. More burst, more sustain. And more ST2. Demolock, Dreadstalker now have a 100% chance to generate. Demonic Core was 50, okay. Grimoire Felguard damage is now increased by 125% with 60. What the fuck, that's double buff to like this shit. Hound of Gul'dan by 25% buff. Cold Dreadstalker is buff by 20%. Huge buffs for Demo actually. Especially in AoE. And Destro is getting Chaos Bolt by 10% buff. Immolation by 25. Incineration by 20. Configuration by 25. And Rain of Fire by 20. Wow, okay. Destro Lock actually getting the juice stuff here. Rain of Fire buffed yet again. More single target, more AoE, more power damage. I like that they're buffing Hail Color Wither damage. I like that. And last but not least, Warrior. Execute increases by 10% in all specs. Good. Colossus Demolish single target damage increased by 15%. Slayer Reap the Storm's damage increased by 25. Slayer Strike damage increased by 15. Mortal Strike by 15. Overpower 15. Dreadnought, Cleave 15 and 20. They're buffing Iron's Warrior. I believe Iron's Warrior is already one of the better melee options for 1105 in the raid. Mythic Plus not so much, but those changes are hoping to bring them back in light for Mythic Plus, which I honestly, I'm happy to see that they're buffing Warrior. You know, on and on. Fury Warrior, same thing here. Slayer buffs as well. Mountain Tane buffs as well. Bloodthirst, Bloodbath, and Rampage buffed by 20, 20, and 10 respectively. Again, buff to Fury as well. I wouldn't be surprised that, because, you know, if Arms gets to be buffed, then Fury as well. On top of the 10% more execute damage for Arms and Fury and Protection. For Protection, not a lot of things has changed here. It just Demolished single target got buffed by 15%. Overall, I think Prot Warrior is still going to be one of the best, if not the best tank in 1105. Alright chat, that's pretty much everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I did not deliver good news today, so my apologies. Perhaps next time I'll try to be better, or hoping to give you guys better news, but that's it. I'll talk about it on stream. You guys take care of yourself. Peace out. Have a good one. Once again, much love. I'm sorry to be the bearer of the bad news. Peace out.